Oh shit! Oh man, I'm having a good old time today, boy. Welcome to the Double Z fucking podcast, where there is zero zen in the world. Ooh wee man. Um. All right. What are we doing today? Today we are going to speak on what it is that drives you crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy. Because, I mean, I guess mental health is always like an issue, but it doesn't have to be like, oh my god, it's an issue, like fucking go get help. No, I mean, it's just something to keep in mind. Like, as stupid as that sounds, oh yeah, mental health should be. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like you gotta put your mental health into consideration. Keep it in consideration. Don't just put it in consideration. Keep it fucking there, because you're gonna need that shit for a long time, like the whole time actually. So you gotta take care of it. Like that's just part of the deal. Like you know, your parents fucked and they had you and you popped out. I mean, after they take care of you and you can take care of yourself, you gotta take care of your fucking self. And I want to tell you right now that the one thing that drives me abso-fucking-lutely crazy, and I'm talking, there's absolutely no excuse for it, is that someone or just people that know other people or people who I know or just anybody in general, they're not taking care of their health. And taking care of your health is just simply doing what your body tells you to do, because your body is way smarter than you think. So if you think for a minute that, oh yeah, I know exactly what I need this and this and that, and I need to eat this, who the fuck said you do? Because I don't care what your little book say, I don't care what your fucking teacher said, I don't care what your fucking mom said, and I don't care what the label says. If your body is like, if you eat something and it's like, oh my god, I love this, and it's like, say it's pizza, but every time you eat pizza, you shit your fucking brains out. That's your body telling you stop eating the fucking pizza. It's not that hard. If you're eating mac and cheese and you can't shit for 3 days, or you don't shit every day regularly, you need to stop eating something, because one of them fucking things is not going through your body as much as it should. And your body is telling you, hey, I need to shit, but something's constipating the fuck out of me, so you need to quit the bullshit so I can fucking shit normally. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time. Now, there's nobody to blame for any of that shit except you and your stupid fucking health decisions. So pick a better diet. Like, pick a diet that's good for you. If you eat something and you feel full afterwards and you feel satisfied and it tastes great, eat that. Like, don't eat shit that doesn't make sense and makes your body feel like shit just because you fucking like it. You gotta eat shit that your body will accept. You don't get a choice. There's shit going on in your head right fucking now. You don't get a choice. You don't get to choose, oh yeah, well fucking, I want the sweet, whatever. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be something. Your brain already knows what it wants. It already has like a preconceived idea that it wants to go for. Like, it's just there. So don't fuck with it. Don't try to fight it. Like, take care of your physical health with your food, and then that part will actually help you with your gut, with your immune system. I mean, there's so many different aspects that are affected by that. So if you're not taking care of that part, it's going to affect everything else. And then there's also a little bit of like, not really vice versa, but if you're going to like try to take care of your own mental health, there's a couple things that you need to keep in mind. And the first thing is, it's like, what makes your mind tick? Because I know my mind is pretty, like, it doesn't make sense a lot of the times, and it's just going all over the place and here and there and everywhere. I even had to stop myself, but like, I'm more intrigued about how other people react in certain situations, and like reading body language and understanding like the meaning of the whatever, fill in the blank after that. So it's all about the who and where and why. I'm actually more concerned about the why than anything, because everything else is sort of, it depends on the why. It always depends on the why. Has everybody ever thought of, there's so many questions that you can ask about so many different things. Questions are like limitless, right? But no other question hits like why. Like why? That's a whole day's worth of explaining. Excuse me for 1 second. All right, so why? That's a hell of a fucking. I should have saved this one for later, but actually I wanted to get into, what drives you crazy initially. So the why is definitely the one thing that really sort of makes me want to just turn into the biggest nerd and just open up. I have like a whole pile of books in front of me on this table, and have a computer and a laptop and a notebook and a pencil and a fucking highlighter and just all kinds of crazy shit nonstop until I get to the bottom of it, because these whys always lead to more questions. So the moment you bust the surface open, it's like, oh, that's just the surface. There's still a couple more things that we need to uncover before, shit starts making sense. Then that's when you start to wonder, like, oh, so that's part of the reason. Like, if you're talking about, what the hell was I talking about earlier? I can't even fucking remember. What did I say about like I was talking about I can't even remember at this point, but let's just go with like, why does this person talk a certain way? And you think, why do they do that? So how do you figure that out? Like, you got to check out who their friends are. You got to check out what kind of music they listen to. You got to check out what kind of TV they watch. You got to look at their family. You got to look at their friends. You got to look at their just overall like style, I guess, or just the way that they carry themselves. So there's a point where that sort of becomes more clear, and you're like, oh, okay, so they like whatever genre music, and they don't really watch TV, and then they don't watch news, and they watch fucking The Simpsons. So it's like, okay, so they kind of have this attitude about them, and it's just like, oh, but then the family comes in, and they have these sort of like just ways that they speak to each other and ways that they communicate that may necessarily be healthy, but they have a way about them that just doesn't come off as natural or something. It's not like the best way to do it, I guess you could say. Like, if I'm going to tell you something, it's going to be like, all right, look, I went to the store, ended up in a fucking line with like 20 people in it because one register was closed. Dude in front of me got into a fight, and I fucking ran out, and then the cops were there, and I went home. That's like setting, background, climax, or build up, and then the climax, and then conclusion. I fucking ran. That's it. Why? Where did that get lost in translation? Like, how did that whole just, I'm sure nobody's really like super proud of the education system, but it does teach you a few things, like how to make sentences and paragraphs and writing papers and that sort of thing. And I just took that whole concept and just made it into like one sentence and just said, this is where it was, this is what happened, and this is how it ended. Like, That's the basis of every fucking story in the world. This is where it starts, this is what happened, and this is how it ended. It's not that hard. And I really wish that it would be more accepted. Like, for some reason, along the lines of communication, somebody decided to just dwell on every single fucking point. Oh, well, was it nighttime? Was it daytime? Were they black? Was there a manager? Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter. That's all extra. That's all like additional information. It doesn't change the plot. It doesn't change what happened, and it doesn't change anything because it's already happened, and it won't change anything. It will never. Like, none of that matters. Like, it's already done. It's happened. That's all. That's really it. Like, how long can you go keeping and holding on desperately on one fucking little idea or one little event that happened that is just like, oh my God, I can never stop thinking about this? Excuse me? There's so much more. There's so much more to that. Like, there's so much more to life than just worrying about every single little detail. Like, if you're going to talk to somebody, talk to them in a way that you would talk to yourself. That's how I do. I don't know about you, but I talk to myself. I talk to myself like this pretty much. I'd be like, yeah, man. So, fuck, I gotta go. I gotta wake up. Gotta get some coffee. Get some clothes on, get some fucking coffee. Come back, fill out this application, go to the bank, and then get some groceries, and then fucking come home. And then we're chilling. That's about it. Like, I just simple things, simple checklists, keeping it real easy, keeping it real simple, and that's just, I don't understand. I really, truly, I'm just mind blown why people can't just communicate. That's the why part. It's a why, and it's why can't they communicate? That's my one main fucking why. And it still to this day sort of leads me around that whole beating the bush around. They're the people that they were raised around, and who the hell influenced them on, like, who influenced them in their lives and what they were doing and how they were communicating on a daily basis. Because if you're communicating the same way on a daily basis with other people, you are going to adopt that exact style, no matter what. And it may be good, it might be bad. And it's like, you didn't even think for one moment that the way that these people are talking to you is not acceptable, but you're still fucking shutting the fuck up and just sitting there and taking it like a bitch. That's not right. Your body tells you what is good and what is not. When that shit makes you feel like you're being attacked and like you're being abused, guess what? You're actually being attacked and abused. Like, why would you just deny that and accept it just because it's from a fucking family member? I don't give a fuck if you're my goddamn mom. You can't talk to me like I'm a piece of shit. Have some decency. Would you talk to yourself that way? No. Then don't fucking talk to me like that. Who the fuck would do that? That is just generally not healthy. It's really not. It's really not healthy. That affects your health directly. Like, direct correlation between shit and your health. If your health or your anything comes in contact with anything shit, you are going to adopt a little bit of that shit. Period. It's inevitable. You cannot get away from that. The longer you expose yourself to it, the more shitty you're going to get. So stop it. Please stop begging and asking for other people's, like, worrying about everybody else's shit and asking for whatever and doing this and doing that and just to fit in. Like, who gives a fuck about fitting in? Your body is already built to, like, fit in. It knows how to fit in. It knows how to do a lot of shit. You don't even know that it knows how to do a lot of shit because you think that you know how to do it. You let your body do its thing. Body knows way more about you than you do. And the thing is, you've been trained to believe everything else from everybody else's bodies. Their body's different than yours. You're not the same. We are not the same. Nobody's the same. Your DNA says you're not the same. It's 99.9 something percent identical, but there's a little, very, very small percentage that makes us all different. So there's no like universal blueprint. You can't just apply one template to the whole fucking population and expect everybody to just magically fit in. That's impossible. It's physically impossible. It's just not. It's not even a thing. So, whew. All right. Well, that got a little heated. Excuse me. So, in conclusion, I just want to say that I want to know what the hell makes you go crazy. Could be it could be anything. Could be something abstract. It could be some belief. It could be just as simple as like one word, like the word "why," dude. That's one word that it's one thing that really hits. Because at the end of the day, you can dig a lot of shit up, but sometimes the why isn't for you to even know. Like, there's just some things that you can dig and 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 dig, but you'll never find the real reason. You'll just dig around it. You'll either be digging around it, or you're maybe just be digging in the wrong place. Because sometimes I feel like the things that drive you crazy are actually things that exist within you. And sometimes it takes a little bit of self-searching to uncover those things and realize that it's not that everybody else is, not telling you why. It's that the why in you isn't satisfied, so you have to keep looking for more. But in all reality, I think that just might be a side effect of overthinking, to be honest with you. But maybe not, like I said, it could be things that are inside of you that you just sort of manifested out into the world, and you probably you maybe think that that's a real thing, but it's not. Or it might really be a real thing. I can't tell you, because I'm not you. I don't know how you perceive things, but I do know from my perception that some of the things might be just from me. Like, I might have just been overthinking that whole thing, and I've created something in my head. Like, I've literally created a whole scenario that just doesn't exist. I've done that before. I'm sure we all have. I mean, yeah, I'm guilty of that. But other times, that was just a random example with the why being something within me. I really truly feel like that's just I don't even know how to put it. It's like a cry for knowledge. It's like almost like begging for knowledge. Like, why? Because there's no other way to get knowledge, or there's no other way to gather information if you don't ask why. But other things, like just ideas and theories and shit, those could be like things that are in your head. So that's where I kind of draw the line of, like, if you're super obsessed about like the way you look, or the way you or the way your hair, or how short you are, or how tall, or some stupid shit like that, that is something that you need to deal with on a personal level, because that has no real place in the world. There's no real judgment seriously, for that. Like, come on. If you're fucking 4'10", if you're born with dwarfism, if you're born 7 foot tall, you're not getting cool points, and you're not getting minus points. There's no point system. It's nothing. So if it's something that's like internally, I guess you could say, diagnosed, then you can also cure it from within. But if it's something that you're dying for and you want to know more, then that's what I need to know about. That's what I want to dig deeper in, because I might share that same idea, and either way I want to talk about it. But peace.